Welcome, Entrepreneur Nation, to the Entrepreneur Unplugged. I'm your host, Rolando Castro. On today's episode, we have Mike Salazar, Executive Director for the Bell Gardens Chamber of Commerce, father of two, and an avid Lakers fan.
Even when they suck.
Even when they suck, right? Because now they do. Entrepreneur Nation, please help me welcome Mike Salazar. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. Mike, so for those that don't know you, they don't know who you are.
It's not very complicated. I'm, very straight shooter. I don't really beat around the bush. I'm very honest. I'm very direct. I'm very passionate about, my Lakers, boxing, my family first and foremost.
You have two boys.
Two boys, my wife. We've been together for over 12 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, other than that, I'm a very simple guy.
So you're a banker by trade, right?
Yeah.
12 years experience.
12 years experience dealing with anything from small business owners to, the higher end clients. I was a small business banker before there was even small business bankers, loan officer, operations supervisor, you name it. I've pretty much done everything in the industry.
Right. So what was it about the banking industry that drew you to taking that role?
And it was kind of just a continuation of what I did at the bank. I mean, there was not very much difference. When I was a business banker, I helped people with their business loans, line of credits, getting their financial statements ready in order, packaging all that up. If they needed help with fictitious name statements or tax ID numbers, articles of incorporation, that's pretty much what I did. Yeah, we took care of all that.
Great. So fast forward. You are now Executive Director for the Bell Gardens Chamber of Commerce, which I'm a board member. Thank you for that. What was it about the chamber that made you transition from being a banker to the executive role?
It wasn't really much of a transition, like I said. I mean, it was just kind of like, we've had there was a part where the chamber was dormant for 6 months or so. I've helped build it, in years previous, and what I did is just continue what I was just keep doing.
Right. So you started as a chamber member,
yeah,
and then worked your way up into being executive.
Yeah, so they was like, hey, you're pretty good at it. You wanted to give it a full, shot, and I was like, what? Why not?
So I've been a member of the chamber, I would say, for about 4 years. I've seen the lows. Now we're experiencing the highs thanks to your leadership. But as you took the role of executive director, what were some of the challenges you faced in the beginning?
Well, a lot of it is just creating a new reputation, a new brand. The old brand was tarnished, and that was one of the main things that we had to do, is establish a brand new image of what we were known for. We've had events that were great. We've had many things that were great, but at the same time they were attached to a negative image. And what I did is I wanted to make sure that we did something where, like our lunch and learn, we have something where we focus on, helping the entrepreneur, at the same time focus, and it's very consistent. Anything that you ever, come to, you're going to learn something and use it right away.
Right.
And that's kind of the image that I wanted to portray.
Great. Okay, so Entrepreneur Nation, if you're not aware of what is a Chamber of Commerce, please let them know what exactly is a Chamber of Commerce and how it helps solopreneurs and small business owners.
It's not anything very complicated. Many business owners have many challenges. We help in many different ways. So what our focus is to make people, whatever comes in as far as their challenge. So if they need help with permits, we're a liaison to the city. If you need help with their business, their business paperwork, we help them with that, because I've had the experience and qualifications to do stuff like that. Or if they've had challenges where they needed, maybe they have an issue with a city organization or something like that, where they needed business advocacy, we stand up and we talk. We're the voice of the voiceless.
Right. You mentioned liaison to a small business owner. So, in other words, what the role of a chamber is they're there to support the business owner and help them grow as a business, correct?
Most definitely. Anything that you need help as far as growing, augmenting what your business is doing. We've done seminars where we've helped with their financials. We've done marketing. We've done branding. We've done anything from HR issues. I mean, you name it, we've pretty much done it. And if we haven't done it, it's pretty much going to be scheduled.
Right. So, a chamber success story. What has been your biggest, boldest chamber success story? Somebody maybe who joined the chamber and really used the chamber to their advantage. Please share with the nation what that experience was like.
I mean, there's many things to choose from. I mean, the one that kind of comes out to hand is just somebody that we just signed up this past week was a uniform place. They had an established business. They were established business for several years. The owner ended up selling the business because due to health reasons, and a lot of the things is the people that took it over, they didn't really know much of anything as far as marketing or reestablishing those connections. And what I've been able to do is just have them reestablish with many different organizations. Like they sell uniforms to doctors, school uniforms. I talked to them about I've noticed in some of these private schools, if you don't wear their certain uniform,
Brand,
you get
yeah.
fined.
Right.
So it was like little things like that where you tell them, was like, well, have you tried doing that? No, I didn't even think about it. It was like, well, those are the little things that we've been able to do, and then starting to connect them with the right people, some of the people at the school district and some of the churches that do the uniform things, and now we're reaching out to doctors and other dentists to help sell their uniforms.
Right. So you're able to connect business owners among
And
themselves
many
to do
different
business
levels,
with each other.
many different
That's
levels.
powerful. Okay, now, in my first experience with the chamber, or I even thought of joining a chamber, I would use it or attend it solely for networking events, to network, meet other business owners, build relationships. But it wasn't until I got involved with the chamber as an ambassador and now a board member that I see that there's other benefits that come along with being a member. And a lot of individuals I see join chambers, they join chambers to see what can they get out of it, but it doesn't work that way, right? It's pretty much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it comes down to you get what you put into it. You want to participate. You're gonna get those creations, those connections, and the main thing is you got to know why you're there. What are you looking for? What are you looking to do? And that's one of the first things I tell our members. Like, what are you looking for? How can I help you? Who are the right people that you need to be connected with in order to be successful here? And that's what we focus on.
Right.
In your case, when I first talked to you, I've partnered you up with several realtors because I know that's where your bread is buttered.
Market, yes.
And that's what we've been able to do is connect you with several power partners.
Right, great. Yeah, because when I was here at chamber, it was more for networking, but the networking is great, but I think for me what really helps me is the relationships that I build while networking at chamber events. Because from any other networking event, I feel that chamber events are their most powerful because there's individuals, they're business owners, whether they're solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, or they own big, they run big companies. They're there to network. They're there to meet individuals with the same mindset. Yet, you from other from other events where it's just party, hang out. They call it networking, but it's really not networking. Am I correct?
No, you see, the certain cities have their own cliques. It's hard to penetrate that old boys club, and one of the things we've done is we have a very diverse group. We make sure that everybody is interacting with somebody. If not, either myself or our board or our ambassadors make sure that we connect them with many other people. That way they have a good positive experience to do that, and they'll want to come back.
Entrepreneur Nation, if you have a chamber, local chamber, check them out. I really encourage you because you get to build some of the best relationships like I have, man, with Mike. He's a director. We're great friends. And I'm able to leverage that, of course, towards my business. And just amazing people you meet. I mean, you really get to connect with powerful leaders. In your case, you have great connections. You know a lot of people within the city, outside of the city, that can help other businesses grow, correct?
Yeah, we've had connections with the local assembly members, the senators, even the congresswoman. I mean, even pretty soon we're going to have an event where the governor is going to speak at one of our grand openings.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, 5 years ago, where in the heck would I have been able to shake hands with the governor of California?
Wow.
Whether you hate him or love him, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's taken me places where I've never thought.
Right. So you mentioned 5 years. So what has been your experience over the course of your career being an executive director with the Chamber of Commerce?
I mean, the first year was tough. I mean, like I said, it was about bringing reestablishing the brand and really having kind of people just kind of tip their toe in the water and kind of see, oh, is this guy going to do this, or people look at you kind of funny. It was like, well, this guy's trying to fix up this broken down house,
Mm-hmm.
and why is he doing this? Or, you know, they expected me to leave, but at the same time, my mama didn't raise no quitter, you know.
Right.
And I was able to see it through. And what I want to do is establish it. And, you know, before, you know, I decide to do something else, I want to make sure that the foundation is laid where, you know, for years to come, there will be replenished, and it'll last for quite a while. And even today, you know, some of my roots in the bank are still there. There's, you know, I still have people there that I've taken from a high school intern that are now, you know, business bankers, mortgage bankers, managers, you name it, they're still there.
So you feel that in your 12 years of experience in the business banking, I'm sorry, you felt those skills helped you to succeed as much as you're succeeding now with the chamber?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about dealing with people. People, you know, sometimes people don't necessarily like to hear the truth, and that's one thing that I do is I don't sugarcoat anything. I'll tell you how it is, and I'm not going to give you this fluffed up answer saying, you know, all this. No, I'm going to tell you even though you don't want to hear it. I mean,
Well, you're real.
Yeah, I'm very real.
There's transparency in regards to the person and the business aspect of it. Now, Mike, what separates your chamber from local chambers
A
within the
lot of
city?
it is just accessibility. You know, sometimes it's hard because you have so many people that they call the gatekeepers, where, you know, you have to talk to this person to get to this person or this. I mean, I'm very, very accessible, very easily to meet, and it's not like I don't make time to see anybody. If you really have a legitimate, you know, concern or something that you want to see solved through, you would contact myself, and I would do everything I can to help, you know, facilitate that.
Right, perfect. Now, Mike, what has been your biggest failure?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is when I used to work here at Downey, I was passed up for a promotion as a supervisor. At the time, I thought I was being groomed to take over that position. For whatever reason, they went to an outside source, and I mean, I was very devastated. I was pissed. But what ended up happening is I learned from that experience. I didn't cry, pout, bitch, or moan. I was able to obtain the same position at one of the biggest offices within the, you know, the Southern California area. It was in La Mirada. If anybody knows the La Mirada branch in Chase, well, it's now known as Chase. That was what
WAMU
was
back then, right?
WAMU back then, and now that was known as the biggest Ocasio within the company. So what that was is kind of like what you see now in today's things, where it's kind of like an automated teller, but
Right.
now it was manned by a person. I was in charge of that, you know, as we transitioned from there to there. So, I mean, looking at where I could have been if I had stood, you know, everything happens for a reason. Every failure that you have is not the end of the road. It's just, you know, it's up to you if you want to push forward.
Right.
And, you know, the result of that is I was able to get a better position.
Great. Now, if there's a business owner, Entrepreneur Nation, that's watching, that might be struggling, they open their business, maybe they're not seeing the success that they anticipated, how can a local chamber help them?
Well, one thing you have to have is a plan. If you don't have a plan, then that's basically probably why you're
Well, if you don't have a plan,
at.
you're planning for failure. Right?
Exactly. So the next thing is, okay, if you have a plan, now let's look at those activities that you got to actually facilitate your income. And are those activities really turning into actual results? And if they're not, then maybe you should adjust those activities.
Right.
And you got to schedule them. The one thing you got to do is schedule everything. If you don't schedule it, you're just talking. You're just throwing stuff on the wall and just hoping it sticks.
Is that what you see with a lot of business owners that make those mistakes in regards to them being chamber members? Maybe you sit down with the chamber member and you evaluate their business. You walk them, or you connect them with the right people that will help their business grow, and then you check up on them, and they're not even.
No, then you have to kind of go back at them, and you know, sometimes you have to do the hand holding, which is fine, and then that creates an even better, longer lasting relationship because you took the extra step that nobody else would to make sure that and see it through. And that's the difference between me and everybody else is nobody's willing to take that extra step. Nobody's willing to, you know, push that extra mile just to get the job done.
Right.
I mean, you've known me. It was like, how many times have we done either some event where it just seemed like it wasn't going to happen, and all of a sudden it was a huge success.
You take action.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, in business or in anything, things are never going to go as planned. But is how well you could execute when they don't, right? Is how well you could
Oh yeah.
control your mindset, control your emotions as well.
If you know, what was Mike Tyson say? Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face.
Right.
So what happens when you get hit in the face? You know, what's plan B? What's plan C? You find a way to get it done. There's, you know, you go up, down, around it, or even through it.
Right.
You just don't quit.
Well, I myself have seen the failures or the darkness that the chamber has gone through, your chamber, Garden Chamber has gone through. I was there when with the other director, and I was there when unfortunate things happened to the chamber, and it was almost going dormant. But your leadership, I mean, I'm not, you know, bragging or anything. I mean, I'm in Entrepreneur Nation. I speak with reality that this guy here took the chamber, gave it mouth to mouth, and
Yeah.
you know, it's up and coming chamber. I say that because I speak from the heart, and I know where it's going. But what does the chamber look like for the next 5 years?
I don't want to really divulge much because I might piss somebody off.
Well, it's
But
Entrepreneur, it's unplugged. So
what
if
it
you have
is,
to,
what
then
it is we're
maybe
looking
for
to
a
do.
reason.
We're looking to do something that I feel that there's a niche in this area, and that what it is, you know, tailoring the content to the Spanish speaking market.
Mhm.
So what I'm talking about is just doing the same concepts like the lunch and learns, the small business workshops, even the mixers and stuff like that, and tailoring it all in Spanish. I mean, who's doing it around here? Very few are doing it around here, and the ones that are far enough away where it's not going to affect them.
Right.
So we want to not necessarily just stick to that, but it's going to be a piece of the puzzle. You know, we'll still have the same program what we do in English. We're just adding the Spanish. We're also going to do, you know, the young professionals, and we're also going to do community service oriented, you know, projects.
Mhm.
So it'll be divided into 4 different sections. And over the years, what it's going to do is, you know, if we're working with kids in the school, talking to them about what the chamber is, and they're actually seeing what it's doing, you know, then they're going to say, hey, when I'm old enough to either open my business, I know exactly where to go. So I'm recruiting kids, you know, in kindergarten, in high school, and whatever. And meaning one of our goals in the area is to, you know, see if we could start a trade school here in the area.
Wow.
I mean,
That'd be great.
those are one of the things that I've been approached and say, hey, I have the people in place to do it. Can we find a facility and get that going? You know, there's just too many retail jobs here. I've been to some of these conferences where, you know, they're saying I have all these jobs, you know, for light manufacturing or heavy manufacturing, but we don't have the right people that are trained to do that stuff. And you know, what better than that to have somebody go in from either high school or college and making that kind of money? I mean, the average income in our city is 38,000. You know, if you do that, you start changing the culture, and then they're ended up buying, investing, many different ways we can change this area.
Now, Mike, it's almost the end. So this is the unplug round. If you could talk to your 20-year-old self again, what advice would you give him?
Well, it depends. I mean, I got married when I got engaged when I was 23. I would tell him a different story, but
Maybe wait.
uh,
Maybe wait.
no,
Don't want to get him in trouble.
no, I don't regret doing any of that. But what I would probably tell that person is, there's going to be times in life where, you know, there's going to be some tough choices to make, and one of the things that's going to define you is how you react in those moments where, you know, there's pressure there. There's a lot of pressure to do, you know, go the wrong way. I mean, you're going to stick through it. Times are going to get tough, and you know, you'll pull through it. They'll always provide for you.
What do you appreciate the most?
My family. I mean, by far my family. I love them. You know, everything that I do is, you know, for them.
God bless you for that. What defines, or if somebody asks you, who is Mike Salazar?
I mean, what it comes down to is that, like I said, I'm a straight shooter. That's basically who I am. I don't really pull any punches, or I don't back down when things get tough. I will stick through it.
Great. Mike, I want to thank you for your time. You shared a lot of information with us regarding a chamber. If somebody wants to contact you, how can they reach you in regards to maybe even joining your chamber, or just joining a chamber, or maybe obtaining more information about a chamber?
In these days, there's always digital stuff. You could always go to the website. You could always call
What's the
us.
website?
www.belgardenschamberofcommerce.com. Our phone number is 562-806-2355. But like I said, I'd rather just meet you in person.
Great.
I mean, you could always send an email and this and that, and I'll respond to it. But there's nothing better than always doing the old school, hand to hand, face to face, shaking hands, and really talking and getting to know somebody.
Great. Thank you for that answer. Entrepreneur Nation, if our session here together can help one person understand what a chamber is and how it can help you grow your business, our meeting was a success. Remember, guys, success is a choice. See you guys next time.